Hello, everybody. Today in this session, we'll discuss one new chapter, and the chapter title is Utility Analysis, Demand Analysis, and Supply Analysis. What I said, the chapter title, again I am repeating. The chapter title is Utility Analysis, Demand Analysis, and Supply Analysis. So we can see there are three parts of this chapter. Out of these three parts, first we'll discuss utility analysis. Now in utility analysis, we'll discuss definition of utility, then measurement of utility. In measurement of utility, we'll discuss cardinal utility, ordinal utility. Then we'll discuss methods of measuring utility based on assumption. Okay, or we can say assumption for measuring utility. So these are the few topics we'll go through. Now based on this, there are some questions, and these questions are like what is utility, or what do you understand by utility? Then what are the different types of utility? Then next, write short note on measurement of utility. Then what is cardinal and ordinal utility? Then what are the different methods of measuring utility based on the assumption, or you can say assumption of measuring utility. So these are the some questions we'll address throughout this session. So first we'll start with the what is utility? So utility means the capacity of goods to satisfy a human wants. What I said, that utility means the capacity of a goods to satisfy a human want. Means like, for example, if a person is thirsty, the person will look for water. So if we assume that there are two persons are thirsty, so one person may get rid of thirstiness with 3 glasses of plain water. Second person may consume 2 glasses of water and thirstiness may go away. So in this case, in this example, what we have seen, that for the person A, the person are getting satisfied from the thirstiness with 3 glasses of water. But in the second case, we have seen the person is taking 2 glasses of plain water. Okay, so in this way, utility we can say is a subjective and relative in manner. Subjective and relative in manner. Then utility cannot be seen with physical eyes. We cannot see utility through our eyes. It can be realized. It can be experienced. Like, thirstiness or desire of having something. If we consume that, if we have it there, so we feel satisfaction. So that satisfaction is basically the utility. It can be realized. It can be, experienced, but it cannot be seen through our eyes. Then I said that utility is relative. Why it is relative? Like, it change from time to time. Utility change from time to time. Then from man to man. Then from place to place. Then from season to season. Okay, why? See, like, in summertime, like, some places are very hot. Climatic conditions are very hot. So in that places, people will drink more water. But the place where are comparatively, climatic condition is not so much of hot, consumption of water will be less. Okay, so utility varies person to person, place to place, season to season. Okay, now simply you can keep in mind that utility means the capacity of a good to satisfy human want. Want means like if a person is thirsty, okay, the person will look for water. If the person is hungry, the person will look for food. Okay. Now, second, we'll go through the three types of utility. We'll go through the types of utility. In types of utility, we'll discuss three types of utility. Now, these three types of utility are: number one, form utility, form utility, place utility, then time utility. Now, first we'll discuss form utility. Form utility are created by changing the shape, size, and color of raw material. What I said, the form utility are created by changing the shape, color, then size of the raw material. For instance means, for example, conversion of wood into chair, or conversion of any raw material into finished product. Okay, so here we have gone through the one example, conversion of wood into chair. So this is basically the form utility. Like all of you know bread. Okay, so to produce a bread, the bread producer needs raw material like sugar, milk, wheat. So they convert this raw material into finished product as bread. So this is basically the form utility. Then place utilities. Place utilities are created by transportation. For example, transporting a goods from a place where it has no utility to a place where it has utility. Okay, like rice from Andhra Pradesh to other parts of India. Then Andhra fish from Andhra Pradesh to other parts of India. Then like another example, like goods are being manufactured in one place. So from that place to transporting the goods to different locations, so that customer may consume the goods. Okay, it can be any kind of goods like two-wheeler, four-wheeler. This is being produced in a particular location. From that location, it is being transported to a distance location, so that consumer can avail these goods as per their convenience. So this is basically the place utility. Then next come time utility. Time utility is created by storage facility. For example, storing rice in paddy season and releasing it in unseason for consumption. What I said as example, like if we talk about the rice, so storing rice in the paddy season and releasing it in unseason for consumption. Okay, or another good example, like whenever being a consumer, we visit to a retail shop. Okay, like we go for toothpaste or a detergent, salt, or any other product, chocolate, any other product. So we are able to get it. Why? Because retailers store these goods. They bring it in advance and they store it and they sell it in a loose quantity or in smaller unit. And we can avail the goods as per our requirement. As per our requirement means when we need it. Okay, so this is basically about the time utility. So in the types of utility, what till now we have discussed, there are three types of utility. Form utility, conversion of raw material into finished good. Then place utility, transportation of goods from one place to another place. Then time utility, created by storage facility, so that goods may be available for customer use when customer need it. So these are the three types of utility we have discussed. Now we'll go through the measurement of utility. What I said? Measurement of utility. Now, measuring utility is very difficult task, or it's a challenging task. Why it is challenging? Because through money, utility cannot be measured, or through price. Again, I am telling, through price, utility cannot be measured. Why? I will tell you now. For example, there is a rich boy, another poor boy. Okay, so poor boy, need to purchase a pen for his examination purpose. So poor boy may afford 5 rupees pen. Okay, but at the same time, if the rich boy need to purchase a pen, the rich boy may purchase a Parker pen with 100 rupees or more than that. Okay, and the rich boy may purchase a pen for any purpose, or he may purchase 2 pen also, because he have sufficient money. But the poor boy, for having examination, to fulfill this basic purpose, he may purchase a pen with rupees 5 or rupees 10. But the purpose of purchase will be getting fulfilled. Poor boy may appear for exam, and rich boy also may fulfill of appearing examination or for any other purpose. So here, in terms of price or money, these are different. Okay, but both the person are getting satisfied. So what we have learned from the utility definition, that utility is to satisfy the human want. So here human want is like poor boy was looking for a costly pen. Rich boy was looking for a costly pen, which he think may be quality oriented, and the poor boy was looking to fulfill his basic purpose of appearing for examination. So in both the case, both the person are satisfied, but the price is different. So utility simply cannot be measured through money or price. Okay, so this is basically in the measurement of utility, measurement of utility. Now to understand it in more detail, we'll go through the cardinal and ordinal utility. Cardinal and ordinal utility is basically 2 parts of the utility, which basically is a mathematics concept, and it is being used here to understand the utility. Or it is more appropriate to say that in measuring utility, cardinal utility and ordinal utility helps to certain extent. Now we'll go through the question, what is cardinal utility and what is ordinal utility. Now according to the cardinal approach, utility is measured in units called utils. What I said, according to the cardinal approach, utility is measured in units. Okay, and the unit is called utils. We'll go through the detail now. Economists distinguish between cardinal utility and ordinal utility. Cardinal and ordinal utility are terms borrowed from mathematics, as I mentioned earlier also. The number like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. are cardinal number. Numeric figure like 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. are cardinal number. These numbers are specific. As for example, the number 4 is twice of number 2. What I said? The number 4 is twice of number 2. Okay, so the cardinal number system permits addition and subtraction. The cardinal number system permits addition and subtraction. On the other hand, the numbers like ranking. Ranking means first, second, third, fourth, rank, etc. are known as ordinal numbers. What I said, the ranking number like first, second, third position are known as ordinal number. These numbers are ranked and numbered, but the ranking itself does not tell us the size of the number. Okay, now in short, what you can say that, cardinal utility can be referred as numeric in figure, which is number specific, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like this. But the ordinal utility is signifies to ranking like first position, second position, third position. Now in the first position, there may be, 5 persons, 6 persons. Okay. Now we'll go through the more of the, cardinal and ordinal utility. Why we are, studying cardinal and ordinal utility for measuring, utility. According to Marshall and many other earlier writers, they used the cardinal number system of utility and argued that the utility of a commodity can be measured and compared with others. This is basically the economist who believes in the cardinal numbering system of utility. But on the other side, like, some economists also say that, like, Professor Higgs and many others rejected the cardinal system. What I said, Professor Higgs and others have rejected the cardinal system and used the ordinal system of utility. In this system, it is not possible to add satisfaction from the consumption of 2 units, because in the cardinal system it is not possible to measure or add the satisfaction from the consumption of 2 units or more units, or compare precisely the utility of 2 goods. For instance, we may say that a consumer gets more utility from a packet of biscuit than from a cup of tea, but we cannot say by how much. Okay, what I said in the example, I am repeating. A consumer may get more utility from a packet of biscuit than from a cup of tea, but we cannot say by how much, because if the person do not prefer to take tea, so if alternative biscuits are there, person will prefer biscuit. So in that case, we cannot say how much. Okay, so this is basically regarding the cardinal and ordinal utility. Next, we will move to the assumption. Assumption, like the methods of measuring utility is based on a set of assumptions. Okay, and these methods of assumption are like, utility assumes that the consumer is a rational being. Okay, assumption are this, that consumer is a rational being who calculates, chooses and compares the utilities of different units of the various commodities and thus maximize utility. What I said, I am explaining again. Like, consumer are basically rational in nature. Now, when we are saying rational in nature, so consumer will calculate, choose, or compare. Okay, compare between the or among the various commodities, and from this consumer will try to maximize their utility. Say for example, in a mango shop there are 3 varieties of mango. So in the first purchase, customer have purchased 1 variety, then he found it is not satisfactory. Then then in the second purchase he purchased another variety. Then he got full satisfaction as the mango was very sweet. Then in the third purchase he purchased another variety. So again he found that it is not suitable, it is not satisfactory. So in the repeat purchase, when 4th time the customer will purchase, he will purchase the second variety, from which customer have received the maximum satisfaction or maximum utility. Okay, so this is basically the first assumption of utility. How to measure the utility based on assumption. Then second assumption, the consumer process, the consumer process a perfect knowledge of the choice open to him, and choices of consumer are certain. Okay, consumer always looks for the choices, open choice, what are the alternatives available, and from these alternatives consumer choice a product or good. Okay, when consumer make a choice, consumer making a decision for purchase or decision to make decision for consumption or availing the good. Then third assumption is, in the absence of substitute, the utilities of the goods and service are measurable in terms of money. What is the third assumption? That in the absence of substitute goods and services, it is possible to measure utility in terms of money. Okay, like see, substitute means having alternatives. 4 or 5 products of same category are available, but if there is no alternative, like in Tripura, if we talk about the TNGCL, Tripura Natural Gas Corporation Limited. So natural gas pipeline gas supplier does not have any alternative, any substitute. Okay, so it can be measured through money. Then Tripura State Electricity Corporation, they also does not have any substitute. Okay, like electricity substitute are there, like generators, other, but people do not use. When electricity are available, every consumer do use electricity. Okay, so it also can be measured through money. So these are the 3 assumptions of the measuring utility. Now now I will summarize the today's session. From the today's session, what we have learned, we have discussed the concept of utility, then types of utility, then measurement of utility. In measurement of utility, we have discussed cardinal utility and ordinal utility. Then we have gone through the assumption for measuring utility. So these are we have discussed from today's session. And thank you everybody for attending today's session. Next session we will meet again with the utility analysis, because few more topic we will discuss from this chapter.